Miraculous revelations. Edgar Cayce prophesied the divine return of our beloved pets after 40 days in the quaint village of St. Stephen S. Nestled among rolling hills and blooming wildflowers, a stirring began to ripple through the air, heavy with divine mystery. It all started with Mary, a devoted woman known for her unwavering faith. She was a constant presence in the local church, which pulsed at the heart of their community. But the death of her faithful dog, Buddy, plunged her into depths of despair. Each day, she would wander to the chapel, her heart heavy, her spirit grieved. It was there she poured her sorrow, her prayers rising like incense, pleading for solace. Then came the evening when everything changed. As Mary knelt in the chapel, hands clasped in fervent prayer, a warm glow enveloped her. She recalled Edgar Cayce's prophecy, the divine promise of a reunion with beloved animals after 40 days. A thrill ran through her. Could it be true? Excitement and terror danced in her heart, igniting a flicker of hope among the ashes of her grief. Compelled to share her revelation, Mary called upon her prayer group. As they gathered in the candlelit church, the air thick with anticipation, she spoke of her encounter. Yet, the reaction was mixed. Eyebrows rose in skepticism. Questions volleyed like arrows. What proof do you have? And isn't this contrary to science? The tension thickened, hearts caught between faith and doubt. Mary stood her ground, imploring them to join in fervent prayer. Let us believe together. Miracles can bloom from the seeds of faith, she urged, her voice trembling with hope. As the 39th day drew near, strange occurrences swept through Street Stephen S. Whispers of a mysterious stray dog circulated, an unkempt creature that seemed to embody Buddy's playful spirit. It wandered through gardens, collecting little tokens from villagers as if gathering love and attention. Each sighting brought gasps of awe, and even the most cynical began to wonder. The village buzzed with conversations of faith, incredulous as they fell under the spell of the stray's captivating presence. Hearts warmed as old beliefs were rekindled. Family pets became living symbols of a deeper connection to the divine. Yet under the surface, doubts broiled. Could this promise of reunion truly reflect divine will, or was it all mere coincidence? With the 40th day closing in, Mary found herself at a crossroads, grappling with inner turmoil. Hope battled skepticism within her soul as she prepared for what might be the most defining moment of her faith. In every corner of St. Stephen S., excited chatter filled the air. Was the prophecy real? Would love transcend the boundary of life and death, or would grief continue to reign? As sunlight faded on that fateful day, Mary lingered by the chapel, her heart racing. Prayers echoed in her spirit. Just then, the village fell into an unearthly hush. It was as if the world held its breath. Then, slicing through the thick silence, a bark. Familiar, joyous, wrapping her in warmth and recollection. A shadow materialized along the path. Could it be Buddy? With that haunting bark thrumming through her veins, all eyes turned to the figure emerging from twilight. Mary's heart pounded. Was this a heavenly sign, or merely a shadow playing tricks? The question hung in the air, an electrifying moment where faith and doubt collided, leaving the community poised on the cusp of a miraculous revelation. What would this moment mean for Mary's faith and the larger tapestry of their beliefs? Time seemed to stretch as the silhouette drew nearer. The familiar form of a dog, its coat shimmering in the fading light, stirred deep emotions within Mary. Heart pounding, she approached the stray with tentative steps. As she got closer, recognition surged through her. The wagging tail, the joyful bark, it was Buddy, her beloved companion, returned as if by divine promise. Gasps echoed around her, a chorus of disbelief mingled with joy. The chapel felt electric, as if time itself had shifted. Mary dropped to her knees, tears streaming down her face. "Buddy," she cried, her voice choked with emotion. He bounded toward her, bringing with him a wave of warmth that enveloped her heart. The doubts that clung to her like shadows began to dissolve in the radiance of this reunion. Villagers stood stunned, entranced by the raw display of love and connection. As Buddy reached Mary, he licked her face, and she laughed through her tears, cradling his furry head in her hands. Joy and wonder rippled through the crowd, and whispers of awe spread like wildfire. Mary looked into Buddy's eyes, and an understanding dawned within her. This wasn't merely about her heart's desire fulfilled. This was a profound declaration of faith. The struggling doubts that had plagued her transformed into a powerful affirmation of spiritual truth. The miracles of God are often cloaked in mystery, she realized, yet manifested in the simplest acts of love. The villagers, sensing this shift, began to gather closer, their hearts open to the profound nature of the event. One by one, they kneeled down, moved to prayer as they realized the weight of the moment. Even the skeptics among them were captivated by the powerful energy swirling around Buddy's return. Let this be a sign of hope. A voice broke through the murmurs. It was Arthur, the village postman, who had always approached faith with caution. If love can conquer death, what other miracles might await us? His words hung in the air, igniting a spark in many hearts. Faith spread like wildfire through Street Stephen S. that night, illuminating shadows that had lingered far too long. Each person there felt a taste of wonder, a crack in the barriers they had built. They knelt in reverence, united in a collective prayer of gratitude. As the sun dipped beneath the horizon, the chapel glowed, suffused with an otherworldly light, a testament to a community renewed in faith. Yet, within Mary's heart, questions still lingered. What did Buddy's return signify for those yet to grieve their own beloved pets? Would the promise of the divine extend beyond this moment? And what were the implications for the villagers, now rekindled with hope? As the night deepened and the stars twinkled like diamonds, a whisper of the divine wrapped around them. The air thickened with anticipation. They were on the brink of something profound, a new chapter in their spiritual journey. As Mary held Buddy close, an inexplicable sense of mission filled her spirit. This was not just about her miracle, but about a community's path toward healing. What lies ahead in the next sacred passage? What other revelations await them in the days to come? The night deepened, wrapping Street Stephen S. in a tranquil embrace. The flickering candles cast dancing shadows on the walls, and the air buzzed with silent prayers and whispered hopes. Each villager was stirred by Buddy's miraculous return. Yet Mary felt something more profound, a calling, a push toward a greater understanding of divine love. As the last prayer settled, they began to rise, hesitant to break the spell of unity that had woven them together. Arthur stood, still radiating awe. This cannot just be about one dog, he spoke, his voice steady. We must explore the meaning behind this. What else might God be revealing? Mary looked around at her friends and neighbors, their faces lit by a fresh sense of purpose. She sensed a collective yearning, an urge to dive deeper into the wellspring of faith that this moment had stirred. We must come together, she said softly, her heart leading her words, to share our own stories and losses. Each of us carries a burden, yet together we can find light in our joys and sorrows. Was it that simple? Could sharing their experiences create something sacred? Nods of agreement echoed through the chapel as each villager felt the weight of unspoken stories, losses tucked away in corners of their hearts. Mary could see it in their eyes, the recognition that they were not alone. Just then, a child's laughter floated in from outside. Ruth, Mary's next-door neighbor, peeked in with her young son, Noah. His innocent curiosity pierced through the heaviness. Buddy spotted them and bounded over, tail wagging as he playfully greeted the boy. Laughter erupted among the villagers. In that moment of joy, the simplicity of connection spoke volumes. Ruth stepped forward, eyes shimmering with hope. I lost my cat, Tilly, 2 months ago. I still dream of her sometimes, she confessed, her voice trembling. What if our pets are waiting for us, just as Buddy has returned? What if they know love can transcend? The chapel filled with murmurs of agreement and shared memories. Each person began to unfold their stories of loss, their beloved companions who had touched their lives. There was a sense of communion, a gathering of hearts that transcended the physical realm. Could this be the divine plan at work? As they shared, an unexpected warmth enveloped them. In those sacred moments, the stillness was palpable. It was as if the presence of something far greater was with them, drawing them closer. Mary's heart swelled as she witnessed their collective healing. She could feel the deepening faith around her, like roots growing strong in rich soil. In the space between the words, she felt the gentle whisper of God's love, assuring them of brighter days ahead. As the evening wore on, Mary sensed a shift, a deeper understanding of the divine promise. This was more than just hope. It was a call to trust in something larger than themselves. "Let's not stop here," she called, her voice firm with conviction. "Let us gather again. Let us explore what this means for us all. Let us learn together." The villagers, invigorated, agreed with fervor. Hope had ignited a flame in their hearts that could not be quelled. But in the midst of their excitement, Mary felt a throbbing question still linger. What awaits in the next gathering? What discoveries await as they seek the truth behind Buddy's return? In wonder and anticipation, they prepared for this unfolding journey. The next gathering was set for a crisp Sunday afternoon, sunlight spilling golden hues through the chapel's stained glass. The villagers arrived one by one, each step echoing a heartbeat of expectation. As Mary greeted them, she sensed a sacred energy weaving through the air, vibrant and alive. Arthur arrived early, clutching an old leather-bound notebook. "I've been reflecting on what we shared," he said, his eyes sparkling, "and I feel moved to write down the stories we tell. There's power in our experiences. It's like sharing faith through our voices." "Absolutely," said Mary, a warm smile crossing her face. "Every story is a thread in this beautiful tapestry we're weaving together." Together, they arranged chairs in a circle, allowing for shared intimacy, fostering the spirit of kinship. When the villagers settled in, Ruth spoke up first, her heart still heavy, but with hope igniting within. "It's been comforting to think of Tilly. In my dreams, she runs freely, as if she's waiting for me to join her. It makes our bond feel eternal." Their eyes brimmed with understanding and shared sorrow. One by one, stories blossomed about pets, lost relatives, and cherished moments. Laughter blended with tears as they spoke of companionship, love, and ultimately, the pain of loss. As they shared, something remarkable began to happen. Each heartfelt tale sparked a radiance in the room, illuminating faces, intertwining souls. Mary noted how the flicker of a candle seemed to grow brighter, strengthening with every revelation. "I believe," Arthur continued, "that this gathering is not merely for the purpose of grieving, but for healing and discovering how love transcends our earthly bounds. Buddy's return is just one part of a much grander design." A palpable silence filled the space as the villagers absorbed his words. Mary felt the Holy Spirit move among them, inviting everyone deeper into this journey of faith. "Perhaps God is beckoning us to explore a greater truth," she suggested softly. "Maybe our pets, and those we've lost, are merely waiting for us to embrace the connection we share. We are never truly apart." A gentle murmur rippled through the chapel as they pondered her words. The truth felt profound, a divine thread binding their hearts together. Suddenly, the old oak door creaked open, and in walked a newcomer, a frail woman wrapped in a field of vibrant shawls. Her name was Eva, known to few in the village, but word of the gatherings had reached her. She looked around, timid yet curious, as if the presence of the community gave her a newfound courage. "Forgive my intrusion," she said, voice trembling but resilient. "I lost my husband last year, and I've been searching for meaning ever since. I heard of your gathering and felt a pull to come and listen." Mary's heart swelled with compassion. "You are most welcome here," she said, extending her hand. "Share with us, if you're comfortable. Each of us bears burdens, but together we can help lift them. As Eva began to speak, honest and vulnerable, a stillness settled upon the room. Tears glistened as she procured treasured memories of her husband, each story dripping with love. Her words enveloped them, forming an invisible bond of compassion. In that moment, a glow of divine light enveloped the chapel, silently affirming their journey together. As the gathering came to a close, Mary felt a surge of faith washing over her. Where would this newfound understanding lead them next? What divine revelations awaited as they uncovered the depths of love woven into their lives? The mystery hung in the air, a promise of greater wonders yet to unfold. As the echoes of Eva's story lingered in the air, the sunlight dimmed slightly, casting a softer glow through the stained glass. The villagers, still wrapped in their emotions, felt a shift, a quiet anticipation hanging overhead. Mary sensed the spirits stirring, urging them on this remarkable path of discovery like a river inviting them deeper into its embrace. Arthur, his eyes darkened with thought, broke the silence. What if we could explore not only our memories, but also the messages from those who have crossed over? A murmur of interest passed through the circle, igniting curious glimmers. There's a belief, he continued, that our pets have returned to guide us. Edgar Cayce wrote about spiritual connections, about how we can find our loved ones while still walking this earthly plane. Mary's heart raced with curiosity. You mean like they might want to communicate with us? Even after they're gone? Yes, Arthur exclaimed, emboldened by the nodding heads around him. Cayce suggested that love transcends life and death. What if we could tap into that? What if we could reach out and see? The murmurs grew louder, excitement sparking as the villagers began to uncover something sacred. They leaned in closer, eyes sparkling with the thrill of possibility. Each had experienced dreams, signs, or whispers that lingered in their hearts. Perhaps they weren't so far removed from their beloved pets and friends after all. I've had dreams, Eva shared, her voice steadying. After my husband passed, I thought I was losing my mind. But he came to me, showing me the light, guiding me. In the quiet of the night, it doesn't feel like he's gone. Hope springs within me. Exactly. Arthur shot back, his passion growing. These aren't just memories. This is the essence of their spirit. What if we spent this afternoon meditating, inviting these moments in, holding space for communication? Ruth raised her voice, her spirit ignited by the idea. Let us create a sacred circle. Each of us can sit in silence, focus on our hearts, and create an opening for our beloved ones to reach us. Love never ceases. Mary's heart swelled with joy at the unity binding them tighter than ever. Yes, let us feel the divine together, be open and receive. It could be transformational. As they arranged themselves into a circle once more, the atmosphere thickened with compassionate energy. They settled into silence, eyes softly closed, allowing their hearts to pulse with longing and love. Breath became prayer. Hope transformed into inviting whispers. Minutes passed, yet, in that stillness, they felt a unified heartbeat, a rhythm of longing for connection. Flickering candle flames danced as if affirming their intent, illuminating the chapel with a holy intimacy. Suddenly, a soft breeze swept through the room, stirring the fabric of their clothes. It was gentle, almost like a caress, reminder of companionship. Surrounding them was a palpable warmth. The air felt charged with something otherworldly. A collective gasp echoed as they opened their eyes. "Did you feel that?" whispered Eva, a twinkle of wonder in her eyes. Mary nodded, heart racing. "Yes, I don't know how, but I think they're here with us. They want to let us know they're never truly apart." As their revelations mingled with faith, tremors of excitement rippled through each heart. The power of love was blooming, weaving through their lives in extraordinary ways. But what lay ahead? Would they truly uncover the whispered messages from those they adored? Their journey toward deeper connection had just begun. What further mysteries of the divine awaited them in this radiant exploration? As the villagers sat in a circle, the tension in the air was palpable, their souls attuned to something beyond. Mary closed her eyes again, feeling the warmth wrap around her like a loving embrace. She breathed in deeply, allowing the weighted silence to fill her with purpose. A soft voice broke the stillness. "I want to call on my dog, Charlie," murmured James, eyes sparkling with hope. "He always seemed to know when I was feeling low. Maybe he could send me a sign." "Let us hold that thought," Arthur encouraged, glancing around the circle with an understanding smile. "Think of your loved ones, your pets. Invite them in and open your hearts." One by one, they began to share their intentions, calling forth names and memories, each word a thread woven into the fabric of their collective hopes. The atmosphere thickened with reverence, transforming the chapel into a sacred space. Then, as if orchestrated by the invisible hand of the divine, the candles flickered wildly, their flames dancing like small spirits caught in a joyous celebration. The villagers exchanged glances, or reflected in their eyes. "Can you feel it?" Ruth whispered, her voice trembling with excitement. "It's like their love is wrapping around us." Mary smiled, tears pooling in her eyes, and nodded. "It's real. They are here. They want us to know we're not alone." Suddenly, a distinct sound filled the chapel, a gentle tapping, soft yet purposeful. The villagers turned toward the source, hearts racing. Each sound seemed to resonate with shared memories of laughter and love. "What is that?" whispered Eva, her voice barely rising above the hushed breaths. With every soft thud, they felt the weight of anticipation press down upon them. Mary felt a sharp rush of emotion swell within her, and she began to hum a gentle tune. It felt familiar, like a lullaby dipped in nostalgia. Soon, others joined in, the harmony binding them closer, echoing beyond the physical realm as they sang. A vibration pulsated through the floor, quickening their hearts. There was something different now, an undeniable presence that brought comfort and joy. Loss began to shift, replaced with warmth, as though the very air encouraged connection. "Look!" Arthur exclaimed, pointing toward the window where sunlight streamed brightly through the stained glass, casting rays of brilliant color across the stone floor. Within the light, shapes began to shimmer, flickers of movement. The villagers gasped, their hearts igniting with hope and trepidation. Were these mere reflections, or were they glimpses of their beloved ones breaking through? "See them!" shouted James, his voice trembling with emotion. "Can you see Charlie?" "Yes, right there." Every heart opened wide, embracing the possible visions of love and companionship. With eyes shimmering with tears, they leaned into the light, searching for familiar faces, for signs that could only come from those they cherished. Mary felt a sudden urge to reach out her hand toward the colors pooling on the floor. "Let us not be afraid," she urged softly. "Let us invite them in. They are as real as our love for them." With a collective breath, they all reached out together, hands interlocked, spirits aligned, stepping into the soft, warm glow. In that fearless moment, they surrendered their doubts, beckoning their loved ones closer. Then came a whisper, clear as the rustling leaves outside their chapel walls. "You are loved, you are never alone." A sacred hush fell over the circle as they each braced themselves. The promise lingered sweetly in the air. What more would they discover? What deeper truths beckoned them forward into this divine communion? And as the candle flames flickered lighter, the question hung suspended like a sacred breath. What awaited them beyond the veil of their shared existence? As the whispers faded, the light in the chapel brightened, pulsating gently like a heartbeat. It was as if the very essence of love swirled around them, inviting the villagers deeper into this wondrous experience. Everyone felt it. The connection was like a delicate thread tying their hearts together, woven with shared memories and the spirit of those they held dear. Mary opened her eyes slowly, as if emerging from a dream, and scanned the faces of her friends. Each expression reflected a blend of awe and hope, a beautiful tapestry of faith woven with emotion. She took a deep breath, letting the vibrant energy wash over her, filling the empty spaces with a warmth that felt both foreign and familiar. Can you hear them? Ruth's voice broke through the stillness. I think they're singing with us. Her eyes sparkled, glancing toward James, who nodded in agreement. The air thickened with an otherworldly joy, as if every soul present was aware of a sacred gathering unfolding. The whispers grew clearer, forming words that floated gently in the air. Remember us, we are with you. Each syllable summoned a rush of emotion, cascading hardships and heartaches into a rainbow of light. For a moment, the weight of their individual sorrows lifted, unveiling a shared understanding they were never truly separated from those they loved. Don't you see? Mary spoke, her voice ringing with clarity. Our pets, the ones we lost, they lived so vibrantly. They were love incarnate, and their spirits are eternally tied to ours. She could feel the responses all around her, the hearts in the circle resonating with her truth. Suddenly, the flames of the candles flared higher, illuminating the corners of the chapel with a golden glow. The villagers felt their hearts synchronized with the flickering light, swelling with an open-minded anticipation. Is this really them? Are they coming through for us? Eva's voice quivered, caught between excitement and disbelief. Then the shapes began to coalesce, figures of beloved pets, shimmering and smiling, solidifying in the embrace of the colors. Charlie leaped joyfully near James, his fur glistening like spun gold. The villagers gasped as one collective emotion encapsulated their hearts. Joy mingled with profound gratitude washed over them. Is it true? Arthur whispered, eyes wide with wonder. Can they really hear us? Can they feel how much we love them? With collective resolve, the villagers began to call out, sharing fond stories and treasured moments with their dear animals. I remember the way you'd cuddle beside me, shouted Ruth. You always knew when I needed comfort, didn't you, Bella? Each tale birthed vibrant expressions of love that danced through the air like golden light. Laughter spilled over the chapel floor, weaving through memories until they transformed tears of longing into tears of joy. Look at them, James exclaimed, his voice vibrant. They're so at peace, they're showing us they are happy. In that moment, the chapel seemed to transcend time and space. Love embraced each soul in a profound unity that made the trials and tribulations of life feel distant and unimportant. Mary felt a tear trace a path down her cheek, but it was not of sorrow. It was of release. You have shown us that love never dies, she declared, her eyes shining bright. If they are here, then surely we can learn to love more deeply with every breath. The group exchanged knowing looks, their spirits ignited with newfound purpose. They dared to hope, grasping onto the promise that their love was a connection that can never be severed. Yet, amid this miraculous communion, a haunting question hovered delicately. Could the love they shared here today extend into a higher realm of existence? Could these bonds become the foundation for something even greater? As the light shimmered once more, bathing them in warmth, they pondered the divine connections, both visible and invisible, that bridged their hearts to eternity. What deeper truths would emerge, beckoning them toward the next phase of their sacred journey? The atmosphere in the chapel remained electric, suffused with an energy that seemed to stretch beyond the physical realm. Each villager felt it pulsing through their veins, a silent understanding that something remarkable was unfolding. As the forms of their cherished pets danced before them, shimmering in the embrace of love, whispered echoes of faith rose like incense in the air. Mary stood in awe, her heart swelling with gratitude. "This is a testament of love," she exclaimed, and her voice rang through the sacred gathering. "Look how their joy uplifts us." They were never just companions. They were reflections of pure love. James felt a surge of inspiration at her words. He stepped forward, eyes bright. And if this is real, if they're truly here, then perhaps there is even more to discover. What if we can connect with those who have crossed over beyond just our pets? What if the love we share can transcend this earthly existence? The idea rippled among them, igniting a flicker of hope that burned brightly in their hearts. Ruth's eyes widened. You mean, like our families? Those we've lost? Yes. James responded eagerly. What if every bond we held dear could open pathways to a divine reality we cannot yet fully comprehend? What if the love is the key? The villagers pondered, their thoughts drifting to those they had lost: parents, siblings, friends. Each memory was a unique thread woven into the fabric of their existence, and now intertwined with the energy of their beloved pets. A deeper understanding began to dawn. Perhaps love was not a mere emotion, but a conduit to connect with the divine, if fueled by their newfound conviction. The flame of the candles danced fervently, flickering to the rhythm of their heartbeats. The airy whispers echoed louder, growing clearer. Love binds the worlds, we are never apart. Tears flowed freely now, tears of realization and longing mingling with joy. Eva's voice broke the silence, tremulous with emotion. What if they are waiting for us? What if we can join them someday in a place where love reigns eternal? Arthur stepped forward, a radiant smile lighting his face. I believe it. If we open our hearts, surely we can feel the love of our dear ones. They are guiding us, showing us the way. Mary turned her gaze to the shimmering forms, understanding blooming within her. They are teaching us. Right now, they're showing us how to love without limits, to reconnect our hearts to those beyond the veil. Each villager found their voice, calling out the names of not only their pets, but also the people they missed, weaving a powerful tapestry of love and remembrance. Names trickled out, the memories flowed, and the chapel filled with echoes of affection and legacies of warmth. But just then, a soft wind swept through the chapel, rustling the flickering flames and sending ripples through the air. The golden lights intensified, revealing new shapes among their beloved pets, a figure bathed in white light, ethereal and magnificent. Who is it? Whispered Ruth, her breath hitching with excitement. The villagers held their breath, hearts pounding as the luminous figure drew closer, shimmering with a divine glow unlike anything they had ever witnessed. Was this a sign? Were they truly being granted a glimpse beyond? The questions hung heavy in the air, tantalizingly close to answers, but veiled with mystery as the figure's features began to reveal themselves beneath the radiant light. The chapel pulsed with life, a divine revelation interlaced with faith awaited them. What wisdom would this heavenly presence bring? What truths lay on the horizon, ready to be unveiled? The figure moved gracefully, the light ebbing and flowing around it like a gentle tide, filling the room with warmth and tranquility. As the villagers strained to see, the outline of a familiar face became clearer, washed in a glow that seemed to carry the essence of peace. It was a figure they recognized, one of their own, a beloved member of the community who had departed not long ago. Evelyn, Mary gasped, her breath catching in her throat. The warmth in the chapel intensified, wrapping around each soul present, drawing forth their collective longing and love. Evelyn's eyes sparkled like starlight, radiating compassion and understanding. She reached out her hands, palms open, inviting the villagers to draw closer. My dear friends, her voice flowed like honey, soothing yet powerful. Do not fear the veil that separates us. Love, as you have sensed, is the true bridge between our worlds. Tears streamed down many faces, a mixture of joy and sorrow converging in that holy moment. James, emboldened by Evelyn's presence, stepped forward. Evelyn, are our beloved pets truly here with us? Can we really connect with those we have lost? Evelyn nodded slowly, her expression gentle and knowing. Yes, my beloved ones. They are with you, bound by a love that knows no end. They dwell in the realm of love, where sorrow is replaced with joy. Just as they were guardians of your hearts on this earth, they continue to safeguard your spirits from the other side. The villagers exchanged glances, a wave of wonder cascading among them. Each heart opened, brimming with hope, illuminating the shadows of grief that had lingered too long. Ruth wiped her tears, her voice trembling as she asked, "But how can we truly feel them? How can we stay connected?" Evelyn smiled, her aura shimmering with divine warmth. "You must simply open your hearts and allow that love to flow. Speak their names, remember the moments, and share your love with those still here. By nurturing that connection, you draw them ever closer. They celebrate each heartbeat with you." As Evelyn spoke, the pets, once mere shadows, began to spring forth, dancing joyfully around the villagers. Each wagging tail, each gentle purr was a reminder of the bonds that never break. Mary felt a rush of memories, layered with laughter and tender moments, rising in her soul. "Think of this time as a reunion," Evelyn continued, her voice wrapping around them like a soft embrace. "Cherish it, for this love is timeless." In that sacred space, the chapel transformed into a sanctuary of illumination, flickering candles reflecting the shimmering lights of love radiating from both human and divine. Just then, a harmonious melody began to fill the air, too sweet to be earthly. The villagers stood entranced, entrapped in this divine hymn of togetherness, an echo of heaven inviting them to partake in the joyful unity of love. And yet, even amidst the elation, a question lingered in their hearts. Would this connection be fleeting, or could they hold onto the divine embers of love forever? Would the whisper of their hearts guide them back to their loved ones again? Evelyn's expression became one of gentle reassurance. The journey of love is not bound by time or space. It is an eternal dance, but remember, it is your faith that will unlock the door to deeper revelations. Hope filled the villagers, but the thought of what lay ahead created a melody of anxious anticipation. As the golden glow enveloped them, one last profound mystery hung in the air, waiting to be uncovered. What other truths were waiting to be revealed by this divine connection? What encounters awaited them in this everlasting journey of love? As the melody filled the air like a divine serenade, the villagers gathered closer, their hearts attuned to the sacred energy swirling around them. Mary felt an overwhelming sense of purpose rise within her, a call to deepen this connection, to grasp the threads of faith that wove them through every joy and sorrow. They were no longer just a group of individuals. They were a family, united in love and spirit. Evelyn, bathed in luminescent light, moved gracefully among them, her presence a balm for their souls. "Dearest friends," she intoned, "you are here today, not just for yourselves, but for every heart that has felt sorrow. Each bond you share broadens this sacred tapestry of love. When you nurture these connections, you transform not only your experience, but the world around you." Ruth stepped forward, her eyes alight with newfound understanding. What if we could honor not just our pets and loved ones, but create a space for all those suffering loss? A sacred environment where healing can blossom? The idea resonated deeply, kindling enthusiasm as others nodded in agreement. "Yes," Arthur exclaimed, stepping forward, his voice filled with excitement. "Let us create gatherings for everyone who has lost someone dear, sharing stories, embracing memories, so no one feels alone in grief. Our beloved pets and loved ones yearn to connect and help us heal. It's time we let their love shine through us." Mary's heart soared at the thought. This was not merely the end, it was a divine beginning. We can host prayer circles, storytelling nights, spaces filled with love and communication. Let the warmth of our gatherings become sanctuary, where faith and love echo against the walls of heaven. As the villagers envisioned their new mission, Evelyn smiled, her essence shimmering with pride. This is precisely the calling of your hearts. Remember, love thrives on connection. Each time you gather, your spirits rise higher, paving a path for others who seek solace. The veil is thin, but love, dear ones, is the bridge. With renewed purpose, they began to exchange ideas, laughter ringing joyfully through the chapel. They would gather weekly, inviting others not just to remember their beloveds, but to celebrate the shared love that continued to thrive beyond life's realm. It would be a powerful witness to divine manifestation, affirming bonds that never fade. Yet, even in the ambience of joy, the weight of unanswered questions lingered in Mary S. heart. Would they truly be able to sustain this connection? Would each gathering bloom into a deeper understanding of their existence beyond the physical? As the candlelight flickered whimsically, Evelyn's voice broke through her thoughts. Trust in the process, Mary. Every moment shared in love is sacred. Your faith will guide you toward revelations yet to come. Seek not just with your eyes, but with your hearts. Tears glistened in Mary's eyes, a mixture of gratitude and serenity unfurling within her. Thank you, Evelyn, she breathed softly. You've shown us that love is always present. We will honor your words, carrying this spark of divine connection with us, lighting the way for others. One by one, they began to gather in a circle, the quiet warmth of love flowing between them, a vibrant light against the darkness of despair. They rolled their shoulders back, held hands, and closed their eyes. In that collective moment, each villager set an intention, a promise to embrace love and life, to seek joy, and to cultivate an open heart. With a soft hum, they began to chant, their voices harmonizing, wrapping around each other like a protective cloak of faith. Amidst this sacred moment, the presence of their beloved pets felt ever nearer, infusing the space with unyielding affection and joy. Suddenly, the chapel brightened in an explosion of color more vivid than sunrise. Shimmering streaks of light cascaded through the stained glass, as if affirming their expressions of gratitude and love, resonating throughout the very fibers of their existence. I feel them, Ruth exclaimed, her heart soaring. They're all around us, urging us to keep believing, to keep moving forward. Murmurs of agreement and cheer rippled through the congregation as they bowed their heads in reverence, allowing the divine currents of love to cradle them. In that moment, the exchange of energy between realms solidified. It was a sacred promise, a confirmation that love was eternal and the connection would never break. The sun began to dip below the horizon, casting a divine glow into the chapel. It illuminated their faces, each person radiating beams of hope, joy, and newfound purpose. It was clear they stood at the convergence of the audible and the unseen, a sacred journey that beckoned to be shared and multiplied. Let us never forget this day, Mary proclaimed, her voice strong and steady. For we have witnessed a miracle, a testament that love reigns eternal. Together, we shall become vessels of healing, hope, and radiant faith. As their chant grew softer, they embraced one another, forming a circle of warmth and shared commitment. Each beat of their hearts resonated as one, echoing with the promise of tomorrow, a tomorrow where love would flourish and the unseen would blossom before their very eyes. And so, in the sacred chapel of St. Stephen's, a divine transformation was birthed. They pledged to share their stories with others, transmitting the light of understanding into the hearts of those still searching, healing, and believing in the profound power of love. The chapter closed in perfect harmony, with the villagers standing shoulder to shoulder, hand in hand, hearts intertwined, a living testament to the enduring connection between lives and souls, forever united across time and space. As they stepped into the night, the stars glimmered above, twinkling like a choir of celestial witnesses, reminding them that love would always lead the way. This was the end of one journey and the blessed beginning of another now. Dear friends, this is your moment to step into the light. Subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive faith stories that will uplift your spirit. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm, spreading this miraculous message to all those searching for divine connection. Comment your reactions and testimonies about the ending. Share your heart, for your stories matter. And don't wait even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this manifestation of love and hope. Remember, only true servants of God understand the importance of this divine support.